And even though we don't affirm others by memorizing statements, and I'm taking a risk here by giving you some examples, I'm going to give you some examples. What I risk doing is doing what Conrad Bowers calls teaching you how to give others emotional junk food. This happens when someone learns all the right things to say to be so kind and supportive and sweet, in quotes, except there's nothing behind it emotionally. And you can see that. This is not an act of the will, like I'm trying to be nice. It's I feel nice and loving towards you. So what I really want to advise is please don't memorize these statements. Don't walk away from here memorizing these statements. Affirmation is about our feelings of communion with, not our communication to. This communion or being with is signified by the tenderness and delight revealed in the affirmer's eyes, gaze, touch, tone of voice, choice of words. And all these things help the unaffirmed person to feel his or her own goodness and worth. So here are some examples of affirmations. And I'd like you to raise your hands if you've either heard an affirmation like this in the past month, or if you yourself have given someone else this kind of affirmation. Okay? I want to see how much affirmation is going on out there. I accept you and love you as you are right now. Okay? What's that, about 60%, I'd say? You are more than good enough. All right? That's pretty good, like 40, 50. I love that you are different than me. 35% about. You can tell this is a college campus because it's very diverse and accepting. I gave this talk at a local parish last week and no hands raised. Yeah. I think it is understandable that you have angry outbursts now, given what you just told me about being abused by your father as a kid. Now, this would only be said in the context of someone shaming themselves for their anger. No hands raised. Okay. Any? No. Okay. If I was raised by Muslim parents, I would probably also think that Jesus was a mere mortal. Okay, no. Yeah. 0. Yes, I will use up some of my personal hours to come pick you up from the hospital. Okay. It's like 10%, maybe 20. Yeah. Okay. One more.
Does it have to be the hospital?
No. Anywhere. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So anywhere.
Yeah, if it's like the state. All right. A little more. Closer to 50. I think maybe my advice is ill-timed. I'm sorry that I angered you by it. Yeah. It's very low. I think my advice is ill-timed. I'm sorry that I angered you by it. Yeah, that's about 20%. Do you really think so? Why, thank you. Yeah? It's good. That's probably like 70, 80%. This is better. At the parish I gave it to last time, almost no hands were raised. So yeah, this is good. I see that you are sad. Would you like me to hold you? All right. 20, 30%. What if I change that to, would you like me to hug you? Give you a hug? Is that more? Yeah, that's almost 100%. Yeah. You seem very angry. Is there something I can do for you? Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like 80% probably.
This is both treating and receiving, right?
Yeah, either one or the other. Okay. I feel sad that you have to suffer like this. Good. That's like almost 100%. All right. This is great. It's okay to feel sad that you lost your job. Okay. More like 20, 10, 15%. Oh, I see that you took what I had on the x-axis and you put it over here on the y-axis. Brilliant. 1. 1. Yeah, it's 5%. Johnny, I told you not to watch TV without us. I'm going to have to put the parental controls on now. Yeah, 0%. You can play with the neighbor kid, but only if it is in our yard where I can see and hear you. Okay, maybe like 5%. Now, sweetheart, the reason we have this rule is to keep you safe. A little more, 30%, 40%. I think my son will stop wetting his bed naturally, since every time he does it, he gets a rash. He doesn't need me to yell at him on top of this. Yeah. It's like one hand raised. Yeah. I can drive a little slower around the turns if that makes you afraid, honey. So we got 2, 3, 4. So that's probably 10%. I feel angry every time you call me on Friday, asking me to go out on Saturday after you find out that your other weekend plans have been canceled. Next time this happens, I'm going to say no. Like, yeah, it's 10, 20%. Okay. That allows the other person to grow. Susie, I think it's best if you only have 2 cookies for your after-school snack, so you're not all filled up to eat the round meal that I made you. So this is just because we're on a college campus, right? You've been around it. Okay. Okay. In summary, I've gone over 3 subtopics. 1 is unaffirmed. 2 is affirmed. 3 is affirming. Number 1, affirmed, is when someone has not yet received the gift of affirmation and often feels unworthy of attention, affection, and approval. Number 2, affirmed, is when one has received the gift of affirmation and they possess an inner strength because of it. And number 3, affirming, this is when we reflect another's goodness back to him or her. And this particularly happens when we don't view another's fear, anger, or sadness as something to be changed or fixed. Or I should say, it especially happens.